Hello and welcome to Admit One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. I am one of your hosts, Jack Netley, and this time, as always and as usual, I am joined by one Kristian Lasham.
I know it looks a lot behind me like the screen isn't on, but it is. It's just I have a different backdrop to you.
Yeah, you've got the one where they clearly didn't have enough space.
Yeah,
and put
well,
the
you see,
other
I
half
tried to
of the word
download the one.
underneath.
I tried to download the one that you've got, but it just wouldn't let me download it. So
This wasn't, to be fair.
it just kept saying unknown every time I downloaded it, which wasn't really helpful. So that one I decided would do. So this is the Bowyes.
The Bowwise.
Bowyes. That makes more sense. Yeah, it's better English.
Bowwise. The Bowwise, indeed. Why have I got this weird mullet going on? I need a haircut. I'm developing a yeehaw haircut.
I need a haircut quite drastically. I've decided I'm going
Indeed.
to take myself out for breakfast tomorrow.
No.
Well, I'm going to get up and do some stuff anyway because I have to, because I have 1,000,000 things to do tomorrow and there's not that many hours in the day. And I've decided I'm going to waste some of them feeding myself breakfast. I'm going to go out for breakfast on my lonesome.
I would offer to accompany you, but that requires an AM awakening. Brunch, I can get on board with. Particularly if it's bottomless.
I'm doing what with my bottom?
Nothing, I said bottomless.
Oh, I see. To be fair, I'm planning on going to Toby Carvery for breakfast.
Good Lord, you Philistine.
No, they don't do they do a, it's a breakfast buffet. It's not a carvery.
I see.
So they have sausages and bacon and eggs and hash browns and stuff. And apparently they do a breakfast Yorkshire pudding.
Ooh.
I'm intrigued as to what that is. But it's like £5 for this all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet. I'm going to go there.
I'm more intrigued. This is more tempting to justify an AM arising. An all-you-can-eat breakfast for a £5.
I think it's like £5.45, but you know. Hannah says it's going to be a Yorkshire filled with sausage and beans. No, apparently it is a Yorkshire pudding. The batter has onions and bacon in the batter.
Doing
Well, that sounds great.
onions for breakfast?
Yes. You have onions in hash browns. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but they're pretending to be potatoes.
No, that sounds great.
And also, I don't like hash browns. So
you're a weird human. What kind of human doesn't like hash browns?
Like, they're not a breakfast food.
They are.
Get them out of
No,
breakfast.
they are a breakfast food. They're
No,
that's
they've
exactly what they are.
invaded. They are a foreign invader in the full English breakfast.
They're the biggest. They are the biggest issue you have with breakfast foods. Items in a full English breakfast and not mushrooms.
No, mushrooms are the biggest issue. Mushrooms aren't foreign invaders. They are mold.
Yes, I mean so is cheese, but yes.
No, I just like, they should be treated as mold. Cheese shouldn't be treated as mold. Cheese is cheese. It's fine. Cheese is just frozen milk. It's fine.
Absolutely not. But that's ice
I
cream.
know it's not. No, that's frozen cream. Fucking idiot.
You're frozen cream.
I'm neither Ben nor Jerry, thank you very much. I suppose we should at least, at some point, talk about the boys. It doesn't have to be now.
Oh, that's fine. We've got this. All right. I wouldn't worry. Toon
But,
asks what black pudding is.
Cooked blood.
Yeah, cooked pig's blood
Mm-hmm.
in its own intestine.
It's just congealed blood, which sounds revolting. However, I do like black pudding.
So you're gonna moan about a hash brown, but you'll happily have black pudding.
Yeah, because it belongs.
False. It doesn't belong anywhere. It's congealed pig's blood that's been cooked in its own intestine. Why is that better than deep fried potato?
My issue is not the fact that it's a deep fried potato. My issue is that it just doesn't taste that great. Like, they taste fine, but they're completely average, and I would rather save space for better food, such as bacon and beans
Like
and toast
it just sounds to me
and
like you've
egg.
only exclusively had bad hash browns.
Sounds to me that I just don't care for them.
Sounds to me like you're a man of no taste.
The McDonald's breakfast, I always remove the hash brown from the
I
wrap.
get an extra one.
No. It's the least interesting thing.
It's
You
not.
have potatoes all the time, and they're like the least interesting form of potato.
But I like potatoes. I'm a big fan
As
of
do
potatoes.
I. I like mashed potato. I like roast potatoes.
Hang
I
on,
like
hang on.
sweet
You are
potato.
saying that hash browns are less interesting than mashed potato?
Yes.
Oh dear lord. Do you know what's really
Mashed
weird?
potato with cheese and butter in it with some salt and pepper. Yeah, banging. Way
I
better than a
admit
hash
that
brown.
that sounds great, but so does hash
Ironically,
brown.
you could even put some onions in it.
You could. Could. You could.
This is admit. Well, I don't do the rigmarole at the beginning of the show anymore, so why am I doing it?
We seemingly don't do the rigmarole at all anymore.
You do. You,
I, from time to time, remember I haven't done it anywhere near as much.
yeah, yeah. Every time I've been present, it's been too rigmarole. But this is a show. Anyway, we're here to talk about The Boys season 3, but I am rather enjoying this discussion of full English breakfast. We learn more about each other all the time when we just have these random conversations.
The weird thing to me though is like our food opinions are so weird because there are so many things that we are polar opposite on, and then there are some things that we couldn't be more unanimous. Similar.
Unanimous.
Yes, and that's strange to me.
I don't think there's anything we respectfully disagree on.
No, I don't think you and I can respectfully disagree on anything. That's not the fun. Of
Respectfully
disagreeing.
disagreed. We've respectfully disagreed on many a thing, but food, I will accept it is usually me sending you to hell for the things you don't like, rather than the other way around. But we agree that the Funyun is top fucking tier.
Mm-hmm.
We agree that dairy milk is the best milk chocolate that you can acquire.
We agree that white chocolate is better.
We both agree that white chocolate is better.
Yep.
And that the winner of that is the white chocolate Toblerone.
Correct.
What are the savoury things we agree on?
Hannah says we're wrong about dairy milk. I would like you to prove it.
We're not wrong about dairy milk. We have spoken, therefore, end.
All other opinions are invalid.
All other opinions have been received, shredded, and forgotten. I've mushed my eyelid, I think.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hannah says, no, yes. I don't know. I've forgotten all savoury things. Obviously, a fry up is a good thing. We both like a good curry. Do you like curry? Have I made that up?
Yeah, I love a good curry. It's my favourite restaurant to go out to would be an Indian.
Mm-hmm.
To go to a proper curry house. That's my favourite way of eating out. Sorry.
I'm a big fan of going out for a steak, to be fair.
Oh yeah,
but that is financially implausible
we have
to do.
Also shared a couple of times of going out for a steak together.
That's true. That's true. You took my Miller and Carter virginity.
I did.
And that was banging. That was very good. I had a pretty nice steak at TGI's on Wednesday.
Yeah, TGI's alright for steak. Yeah.
It was really good. Had a nice level of char to it.
Now you're talking.
It'd been so long since I'd ordered steak, though. It's been so long since I'd been a civilized human that I tried to do my thing where I order it less cooked than I want it to be because I know they'll overcook it, but then just ordered it at what I wanted it as.
Oh, I see.
So it was overcooked. But it's fine. It was fine. It was still scrumdiddlyumptious. Got that Jack Daniel's sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Real good. Real good. Then honey mustard and like bacon and tomato in the old lettuce wedge. TGI's are providing the lettuce wedge
All
now.
right.
They're up in their game.
Taking a page out of the Miller and Carter book.
Yeah. However, I will grant that the way they put their lettuce wedge together was far less consumable than Miller and Carter. I wasn't sure what the fuck I was supposed to do with it. It was just presented as like this flour in a cup. What am I meant to do with this? Weird.
Hannah asks, how do you have your steak? The correct answer is it depends entirely on the cut of steak.
It does, but I don't know enough to know which is which, so I just tend to go medium.
If I'm at a proper restaurant, I would normally just, as the chef recommends. If I'm at a proper
I wouldn't
restaurant.
call TGI a proper
yeah,
restaurant.
I wouldn't take that risk at TGI.
No, because that would be stunned.
Yeah, in the
The
microwave.
cow was tased. That's you had $150 steak on our honeymoon. I kind of feel like at some point the money is just going nowhere. Medium rare is not always the correct answer. I would, as Chris has said, as the chef recommends, and sometimes they recommend you cook it more. Sometimes they recommend you cook it less. So I trust them more. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Anyway, we're 11 minutes and 40 seconds into this.
I'm enjoying my fucking time. Sue me. I tried once. Well done. I presume you're still chewing it. Because well done steak is a crime.
It's I argue it's false advertising.
Because there was nothing well done about it.
Yeah.
Too done.
Fucked.
Overdone.
Crucified.
Burnt.
There are many good terms, I think. Well done is not one of them.
I've never had a chef recommend it be more cooked. It's probably because you haven't asked them, because you think medium rare is always correct.
Also, it does depend. It depends entirely on your cut of steak.
Yeah. I like food. I might get pizza later. I haven't eaten today. I'm fucking hungry.
I'm stupid, isn't it? What are you doing that for? You know you could have eaten.
I could have done. But, you know, one of the benefits of being a drag on society and still living at home is that meals are off.
I have a question about food. What's your favourite way to consume milk?
What?
What's your favourite way to consume milk? Is it fresh in a bucket, direct from the cow's teats you've just milked yourself?
Oh, you segued me. Well played. Well played. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Do you know my favourite thing, actually, segueing back, is the people online who seem to think that flavoured milk is vegan. Because it's not.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I've seen, there's this video that went viral. It's this guy drinking strawberry milk because he thought it was vegan, because he thought it came from strawberries.
People are fucking stupid.
Personally, I think it should be completely legal to remove those people. Because we don't want them infecting the gene pool, teaching kids that fucking strawberry. You could, like, show me a strawberry's nipple, you stupid cunt. By the way, I would like to. We're talking about The Boys. There are going to be several per show.
Oh yeah. Because it's kind of like their catchphrase.
Exactly. Well, if it isn't the invisible cunt.
I do want to point out that I genuinely think that line has been topped by, with great power comes the utmost certainty you will become a right cunt. That is spectacular. A fantastic
It's
line.
a good line.
It's
a good line. There is a top tier line in season 2 where he's talking to that Christian guy at the fair.
Yeah.
And he's talking about all those things, talking about God, and goes, "That is a cunt move. You got to agree with." Yeah. I'm a big fan of Billy Butcher.
Hey,
I think he's
I know you haven't asked me, but I'm going to tell you my general thoughts on The Boys season 3. Uh,
go for it.
I'm a big fan of this show. I think it's fucking excellent.
I think it's one of the best shows on TV at the moment. Well, on streaming services at the moment,
I
easily,
agree. I agree.
far and away.
I think it's really really good. I have a few little like irks I have with it, which is really just me on a personal level. I think there are a
Oh yeah,
few cases where it just falls into trying to shock me, which I just find frustrating because I don't think the show needs it. I think the show uses, for the most part, it uses gore and shock factor well, but every now and then it's just like, you're trying to shock me here. This doesn't feel like it needs to be this extreme or this fucked up to get the point across. You're trying to make it as shocking as possible, and I just don't think it needs to do that. So I feel like that's a bit of a letdown for me. But for the most part, I think it's excellent, and I think this season is really well structured. I think that unlike most of the other shows we've been talking about on this channel over the past couple of years, it's got a good A to B plot that develops well over the course of the season. The subplots that have going alongside it all make sense to exist and help support the main plot. Each character has a good amount of development, which again all supports the main plot. It knows how to end an episode, making you want to watch the next one without leaving you on a stupid cliffhanger, or leaving you on a cliffhanger which is just going, well, this doesn't make sense, which is what most of the Disney shows tend to do. It leaves it on a, oh, what's happening next? Not, well, this doesn't make any sense. And I think seeing the journey of a lot of the characters has been generally really, really interesting as well. Especially, I think, Homelander and Billy. I think those two characters and seeing how their journey and how they've both come along and the different things they've gone through, I think is really, really interesting. And Homelander as a villain is excellently written. Not quite to the same degree, but the best example I can think of is the idea of Thanos, that we all kind of empathized with Thanos or sort of understood him. Although I don't necessarily empathize or understand Homelander or agree with Homelander, all of his motivations make perfect sense, and you can see how he's come to the conclusion as to where he's gone, because his motivations are written in a way which you go, yep, I can see why you're doing that.
You can tell, you know why he's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's... Tomb says, where's Rich? Didn't he finish season 3? He didn't finish episode 2 of season 1.
No, yeah, this is not a show for him.
No, which is fair. It's not going to be for everyone.
No, because it is extreme. It's very extreme.
Oh yeah,
and it deals with
really
some serious stuff, and it is very graphic in multiple ways, and it doesn't hide away or shy away from anything. And there are many times where it tries to make you feel uncomfortable as well, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And like, while it doesn't take any of the serious topics like lightly or make light of them, it does portray some of them in a more lighthearted, maybe even jovial manner, even if it doesn't take them that way. No, I think you're right, and I think the fact that Billy and Homelander have the best like development is kind of even more impressive, because they're the characters that are getting increasingly worse.
Yeah.
As people, I mean.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think it's just a fucking celebration to the writing and to Carl Urban in particular.
Oh yeah.
That you just fucking love Billy Butcher. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But you're just like, I'm pretty much on side with you all the time. Like, Mother's Milk in this season was obviously very much like, no, we can't do this, we can't cross this line, we can't cross that line. And Billy's like, well, we fucking have to.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a choice. And I agree. In those particular scenarios, like, you don't have a choice. Like, if you're going to play it by the rules, that's the problem. Other people are playing it by rules that the others aren't following. So if they're going to break them, you have to break them. And I also think that they do really well in showing the very few things that Billy is human about.
Yeah.
And they've done that very well this season as well. I think they've done very well in making Homelander even more of a piece of shit. I do have a lot to say on Homelander. None of it negative, to be fair, but just more like I kind of think Homelander as a character needs to come to an end sooner rather than later.
Well, I think they're built. Should we just go where we are in spoiler
No
territory here? I'm
spoilers.
just gonna decide. Yeah, I think
Spoilers.
they're leading
So
that way.
yeah, I think the implication, and there's been a couple of like small slip ups that have led people to believe that there's going to be at least season 5. Like season 5's been greenlit on the back end because a couple of interviews where Carl Urban has been talking about fight training, and he says like talks about how much he doesn't actually like it that much, and that he's going to have to do it for at least another 2 seasons. So kind of slipped up on people. So I kind of think that with the Homelander problem should be solved in season 4. I think.
I'd imagine so.
And then
To be honest, though,
season 5, not so much Homelander.
See, I think the Homelander problem is more though that because of how big a rock that character is in that universe in terms of like he's supposed to be this completely immovable force. He is incredibly powerful, he's quite intelligent, he's very strong, he is ruthless, he doesn't have any boundaries. You can't beat him in a fight. It needs to be more than beating him in a fight. Even their attempts to take him down publicly haven't worked and won't work. It doesn't matter what he does. There is always going to be people rooting for him. He's got the upper hand in every single sense. He's such an irremovable force that by the time they beat him, for that show to continue, your next villain needs to be even worse and even more powerful than Homelander.
I agree in like the socially powerful. I don't necessarily think he has to be as physically.
No, not necessarily as physically, but I mean, as an object within that universe, you can't beat him. Like, he is terrifying. Everyone is scared. Every single character, although they all sort of face up to it, and there's some great stuff there's a brilliant scene where Huey like squares up to him in the apartment, which are excellent. It was like one of the times after Huey had taken Temp V, and he didn't have it in his system at the time, but he like squares up to Homelander, and he's just like, I don't fucking care anymore. But they're all scared of Homelander because they know what he's capable of. Not even
for sure.
Not even just because he's powerful, but because he's ruthless and he doesn't have a line. I think that's the big thing. Nothing is too far for him. He will do whatever he needs to do.
Yes, especially with how the season ends.
Yeah.
That kind of escalates even more. And I don't think they need to beat Homelander. I just think the storyline needs to change because the storyline really revolving around Homelander has been the same for 3 seasons.
But that's what I mean, though. I think that's hard to do without there being a bigger risk. Because otherwise you go, well, why are you just all ignoring Homelander now? Like, surely he's still...
No. I said the story around Homelander needs to change, not that it doesn't need to involve Homelander. Like, they implied that if they take away his ability to be loved and famous, well, like a celebrity and all this, what have you, that he will accept being feared instead. And I think you could do something really interesting with that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like, you can have it so it does get pushed over the line. Like, yeah, he's always going to have his followers because, I mean, so did Hitler.
Well, but, yeah, and they don't really shy away from that implication at the end of the season.
No, exactly. And I think what you can do is, yeah, he's got his followers, but this backfires on everything that Homelander's been building towards. I don't think the ending where he lasered that dude necessarily, especially with the group around him that were cheering, I don't think that necessarily means that he's going to be in the same position. I think he'll probably will be out of Vought. He'll be gone. Well, at least I hope. I kind of hope they go more towards the he's feared by most of the populace, but what the fuck can you do? That type of thing. And obviously we have a lot of Homelander being feared, but I mean by like the general population, by the audience, by the world, as opposed to just the soups that know and the boys. And I think you go that way. And obviously I think a lot of season 4 is going to revolve around Ryan.
Yeah,
well.
I think absolutely. And Ryan currently is Homelander's only real weakness. So I think that'll become a big factor, and it'll become a big factor of Billy as well, because he will then despite his best wishes, he will know that Ryan is his weakness and will know that that is his way of beating Homelander.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 I think there were a couple of characters in this season where I was just like, you've kind of just become a little bit like just present, and mainly for me, that's Mother's Milk in this particular, or in this season. Kind of think he's just there.
He kind of is used as a bit of an obstacle, but he also helps bring the team together at the right time. So I don't think he's completely useless, but I don't think out of all the subplots, his is the less interesting, but I still think it works, personally.
It worked, but it was kind of just like he's just there. He's there to be a foil for Billy.
Yeah.
Really. He's not really there for anything else. And if you kind of removed that, you could have still had the hyping up everyone else. Because I really liked in previous seasons. I just think in this one, he just kind of took the role as but we can't. That's mean approach. And it's like, fine, whatever. I did like the him obviously struggling of seeing Soldier Boy and what have you. But yeah, other than that, I think was a bit boring. Frenchie is excellent as always.
Frenchie is excellent. I really like Kimiko as well. And is an example for me, again, Marvel need to take a page out of their book, I think, an example of how you make a character that can only communicate in sign language interesting.
Why is that a note for Marvel?
Because I don't think Marvel did that very well with Hawkeye and stuff, personally.
Oh, I see, with Echo.
Yeah.
I don't think that's got anything to do with the fact that she only used sign language. I just got things to do with that woman was uninteresting.
Well, that's very true, to be fair. That's a good point.
It's got nothing to do with... Yeah, I just think Echo is uninteresting. I don't think it's got anything to do with the fact that she used sign language. Yeah. I thought that aspect was absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
How they ended up communicating with the Hawkeye and everything, but I just think her art was particularly uninteresting, and why they've given her a show I have no fucking clue. But yeah, Himiko, or from the comics just known as the female.
Oh, I didn't know that. Although I do think they referred to her as that in the first season a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah, but I don't think, as far as I'm aware, she never really gets a name in the comics. Don't know why. But to be fair, one thing I really like, I think this is one of the best adaptations of something, outside of Marvel at the very least, the best comic adaptation, because the comic was written really in a way to be like, I'm taking the piss out of superheroes, and not actually in a way of respecting the medium and doing another twist on it. Whereas the TV show is just taking the piss out of life.
Yeah.
Everything. The hard right, the hard left, literally literal things that happen in the world. We get one of the fucking Kardashians, I don't care enough to know her name. Her Pepsi ad is taking the piss out of in this season. And like down to that, we had the she's got help girl power moment from Endgame taking the piss out of in the last season.
Yeah.
In season 2. But then, like, just to finish off that joke, several episodes later, they had a genuine one of their own.
Yeah.
So they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing with this show.
Absolutely. And, I think all the character parodies are very good as well.
We got some more of Love Sausage.
Yes.
In terms of characters. Yeah.
See, now that episode, the Herogasm episode, for me, I think is one of the better episodes.
I agree.
Because despite the fact they've got that crazy superhero sex orgy going on most of the way through it, and it's very explicit, none of it ever feels over the top at the same time. It's strange. Like, because they have so much really good writing going on around it, that whole episode works really, really well. You've got an interesting story arc with A Train in that one. You've got
Yep.
Huey and Annie's relationship and some really good arc and story arc going on with them and some good moments between them. You then get I frankly think excellent superhero fight of Billy, Homelander, and Soldier Boy in the
And
house.
Huey.
Yeah, and I also want to say I'm a big fan of Billy Butcher with superpowers.
I think Carl Urban and Anthony Starr, which for those who don't know, Anthony Starr is Homelander. What a fucking performance from the pair of them in that scene. That look Homelander gives in like, this is the first time I've been injured in my life.
Yeah.
And it was you. Like, you have no powers.
It's mental. It's weird as well. Like, it's not weird, but I love how they kind of have a team up moment together against Soldier Boy in the final episode.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of them.
It was it was both of them just the silent mutual agreement of, I don't fucking care what's going on right now. He hurt Ryan.
Yeah.
And it was just a case of fuck this guy. This guy. I do like the fact that they kind of made Soldier Boy wasn't that bad.
No, Soldier Boy was just on a revenge path because he got betrayed. Really?
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, even in his heyday, like, he was an arrogant prick.
Yeah.
But he wasn't Homelander.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't killing innocent people, and he wasn't going around murdering everyone. He was just a bit arrogant because he was at the top of his team, and the whole thing of like, well, I suppose we're in spoilers, obviously, because he beat his meat into a cup, and being Homelander's dad, and he's just the way that episode ended was, what's funny is, if they just kept me around, I would have given you the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fucking yeah, they are, and the line of just like the kind of backwards hand on his shoulder, just like, you're such a fucking disappointment. I think that was probably the biggest blow Homelander has ever taken in his life.
Yeah.
And it's just, just. May I point out, like, before The Boys, like, not a lot of people know who he is because he's not in that much, but before The Boys, I've always loved Jensen Ackles. But he is excellent in this show.
Who's he, sorry?
Soldier Boy.
All right, okay. Yeah, he is very good in this show. I don't know if I know him from anything else, but he's very good in this show.
The biggest thing, like, he's done a lot of small movies and stuff, and then a load of like, he's played Batman and stuff in the animated movies, but his biggest thing is Supernatural. He's one of the two brothers in Supernatural.
Right, okay.
But he never has a beard in that. Like, ooh, father. I was like, heavens! 84 series of Supernatural, says Hannah. It's only 15.
Lord, still too many.
It's 15 years. Imagine doing a show for 15 years.
Feels like we've been doing this
also,
for 15 years.
Well, yes, I know. But imagine the heartbreak of that just ending.
Mm.
Does that mean we have to do this for 15 years and then end now?
Hopefully,
like I can put it right now. If the numbers don't go up, I'm not doing this for 15 years.
How long do we call to go before we call it? 'Cause we've been doing it for 4 already.
Tomorrow?
So 4. We should get to at least episode 200 of Press Start first. Richard's written some questions.
Oh, that's true. We'll do that and then end. We'll just
we'll
delete the channel.
Literally, just wait till we've done the final question and be like, just so you know, Rich, this is it.
Yeah, this is like, no one's following, no one's paying any attention. I can say what I like on this show. No one's ever going to know. I was trying to think of something that I could genuinely say that isn't that bad, but sounds bad on the surface, but I couldn't.
It's not worth the risk.
No, yeah, exactly. Like, Putin might find me or something. For me. But I think everything was excellent in this show. I'm assuming the bits you're referring to in terms of pushing it too far would be the penis.
Yeah, the exploding penis was mental to me. I don't see what it added at all, personally.
Nothing, but there's a lot of that where I
Yeah,
don't
no,
see what it added. But
there is a lot of that.
it didn't really bother me.
There is
Didn't
a lot
really
of that.
bother me to be. Its purpose was to get people talking about the boys, and it worked.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just don't think the show needs that. I think the show does so much so well. I don't think it needs that real crazy unnecessary scene. That particular scene and the way that was used in the story was that it was to show you that they're sorry, I've just been sent a text message that I don't understand, so I'll deal with that in a minute, but it just threw me. Obviously, to show that they're hunting for the superheroes and the way they're working with going after them and stuff in the legal sense, but that whole scene of the small guy accidentally killing someone whilst performing a weird sex act is fine, but I think they could have done it without it being as graphic, as extreme. They could have done the same thing, and I think it would have had, for the sake of the episode, had the exact same effect. So I just think
It was inbuilt marketing, is what it was.
Yeah.
So it was built in marketing. It was meant to get people talking about the show, so that more and more and more people would watch the show. And I would say it worked. I'd say The Boys this season has been the most popular it's ever been. And that's a good thing, because obviously it means more money going into more seasons. And I kind of wish they did something, not an exploding penis, but something to get people talking more about Paper Girls. Because I want more seasons of that. Hannah says it solved the whole why did Marvel not get Ant-Man to go in Thanos' bum.
To be fair, I guess that is sort of a parody of
it
that.
was taking the piss out of that, yeah. I think. And the answer to that is I imagine Thanos' density is stronger than Ant-Man's. So if Ant-Man tried to grow inside Thanos, he would just get crushed, I would imagine.
I'd imagine so. I did enjoy Frenchie in that scene afterwards, because the guy obviously shrinks down to running around.
He's trying to get in my ass! I did love the just him and a little baggie of cocaine, ODing away. The Dawn of the Seven opening.
Yeah.
No, I just loved the whole hashtag save the Vought cut.
Yeah.
Oh, release the Vought cut and all that. That was all great. And then just randomly, Charlize Theron.
I know. I thought she's fucking getting around, isn't she?
She's just in so many small scenes in a weird black/purple outfit at the beginning of this year. That's 2. And that's 2 more than everyone else.
For a second, I was like, are they about to make this MCU canon and say it's one of the multiverse?
I was shocked to find out that Frenchie is Israeli. I'm assuming you mean the actor. Yeah, I remember a lot of people being quite shocked that Frenchie wasn't French, because he does a pretty solid accent. Obviously, we got some more weird stuff from Stormfront in here. Can't say I was expecting to see a heavily injured, multiple limb missing individual toss off Superman. Can't say that was something I was expecting to see.
They said that she killed herself by biting off her own tongue or something.
Yeah. Bit mad.
Didn't know that would
and
kill
then you
you,
get that super fucked up scene of him making that girl jump off the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Just after it gets announced. Oh, my God.
Mate, some of the stuff that Homelander does in this, he just becomes more and more unhinged as it goes on. But for me, it's akin to what I liked about Kilgrave in Jessica Jones. It's like he's doing really fucking mental stuff that is horrible and unthinkable, but the actor's performance is so good, it makes it really compelling to watch.
I agree. Anthony Starr is outstanding in this.
Yeah, I know he's a bit of a problem in the real world, but I think in this he's excellent, absolutely excellent.
He's not that much of a problem.
He caused a ruckus in a bar or
He
something.
got in a fight
Yeah.
and got arrested. Yeah, like he got in a bit of a bar fight and got arrested. Oh no, he's a problem.
I think
Shut
it was
up.
more that I think he gave it the "Do you know who I am?" line from what I heard, but that could also be nonsense.
Oh, he might have been, but also the answer would have probably been no.
Yeah.
But
Or yes, you're not actually Homelander. Sit the fuck down.
well, yeah, but it's also just I don't like this idea that arrogance. Someone being a little bit arrogant when they're drunk is making
I know,
they're a
yeah.
problem person. Like what? Like it doesn't. Not everything has to be fucking cancelled. Grow up, you children. Like fucking children. I think
Says that's tier 1 Ezra Millering. That's nothing.
to be fair, at least it was a man. He punched a man, and for in this climate, that's infinitely more acceptable. So, not that I'm suggesting you go around punching women.
I don't suggest you go around punching anyone personally.
That's more my point. Yeah. Just none of this. However, if you do that in a fight, you will lose.
But going back to the main point, yeah, I think his performance in the show all around is absolutely outstanding. I think it has been anyway, but this season he's been particularly good. Oh, yeah, sorry, the actor that played young Giancarlo Esposito.
Mm-hmm.
He
got that cadence fucking down.
Like that was kind of creepy watching it at first. Like Jesus, he's good.
yeah, that was
everything.
That was very impressive. That was very impressive.
I'm also more than happy to continue to watch things with Giancarlo Esposito in because he is also excellent.
I know that he's been in talks with Marvel, and I'm like, hire him.
Yeah,
I don't care what for. Just fucking hire him.
Supposedly, the rumors are it'll be a Professor X. I'm like, yep, fine by me.
I'm kind of not fine with that. Like, I will watch anything, and he's a phenomenal actor, but I want him to be menacing as shit.
That's true.
I want him to be Doctor Doom. Yeah. Personally, I want him to be Doctor Doom, like this properly sinister, evil, insanely intelligent, manipulative villain. I want it. Like, that's what I want from Giancarlo Esposito and Doctor Doom, because that means you can have him for a long ass time, because Doctor Doom is always a long running villain.
I don't think I've seen that actor in anything that I've not think he's been outstanding in.
100%. But he's always menacing.
He is always menacing. I mean, my first exposure to him was in Breaking Bad, team.
Yep. I think that's most people's first exposure to him.
He is just excellent throughout that series. And he's excellent in Far Cry 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't get used much, but when he's there, he's excellent. Very big fan.
Criminally underused in Far Cry 6. But have we reviewed Breaking Bad? No, I don't know how that would work, frankly.
It ended way before we were doing this stuff.
Yeah, it ended about 5 years before we were doing this show.
I think we have openly said on a show before that we both think Breaking Bad is excellent, and that's probably as far as we need to go.
Yeah, I don't think, like, you could break down a few scenes. Like where Walt mows down those two guys and then unnecessarily double taps them when they're chasing Jesse, and he's just like, run. And then the episode, and I'm 30% sure the season ends with that. And fuck me. And obviously we didn't.
Hannah's just said no spoilers for Breaking Bad. Hannah, seriously, go and watch Breaking Bad. It is outstanding.
While I feel guilty, it ended 9 years ago.
Yeah, I'm with Jack, but go and watch it. It is absolutely outstanding. It's real good.
I do apologise, though. However, that's quite early on. It's fine. It's fine. I was going to do more, but Chris interrupted me to say that you hadn't seen it, so I won't do more. I apologise. Speaking of young Giancarlo Esposito, though, we get a few flashback scenes, and obviously the whole Vietnam scene where the Soups are just the fucking worst.
Awful.
In mowing down their own soldiers, for one. and just mindlessly shooting things.
Black Noir gets fucked up in that scene as well. I don't know how he survived that.
Yeah, and they show you later that it was Soldier Boy
Yeah.
that did it, and obviously Soldier Boy gets taken away. He gets Captain America'd.
I was actually a really big fan of how they did the whole Black Noir stuff and him kind of doing the flashbacks with the cartoon thing. It was really interesting. It was quite unique and quite different, but I really liked it. Kind of like I had a bit of a Looney Tunes parody going on.
Yeah,
enjoyed that.
I also really like the choice of which animal was
Yeah.
which character, like the big, almost like Foghorn Leghorn character being Soldier Boy, and then just the sheep being Black Noir. And all that kind of stuff, and obviously the implications that back then Black Noir had to wear a mask because obviously he was, I would imagine, one of the first black superheroes, and people sucked back then.
People suck now, but even more so back then.
Yes. So I'm at, and then all of that. I really I liked everything to do with Black Noir in this season. I think it was an excellent character.
I did see
They
his
did a
death
lot
coming.
with him. Oh yeah, that whole scene was, oh, he's gonna die.
Yep.
From the moment Homelander walked in the room, I was like, he's gonna die.
Yep.
Kind of a little like Civil War of the did you know type thing, and then just got fisted to death. Homelander fisted him where there wasn't a hole.
I also enjoyed.
I really liked the way that just the cartoon chipmunk just faded in his lenses to indicate that he was dying. I really liked that. Really liked that.
I also really enjoyed, and I think did a good job, even giving so many of the kind of the smaller side characters interesting development still, like Ashley, for example. Her character's developed loads since the first season, but you know the way that they had what they had her doing, and the way Annie was interacting with her and stuff, and sort of almost putting out a bit of humanity out of her and things, I think was really good. I think they did a really good job at nearly every kind of character moment they did made sense and felt like it had a bit of weight to it for all of the characters.
I almost, in a weird way, I don't know why, but I didn't really buy Annie and Huey being on different sides of that argument. I feel like
of what argument exactly?
Their whole which side to be on
of
the how far you push it thing. I kind of, through Annie's development through season 1 and 2, I kind of buy that she's willing to kind of do anything, especially from the beginning of this season, where the whole point was she needs to push it and she needs to do more. She needs to take the job as co-captain of the Seven order to be able to do it. And then it's just a case of then she just flips. I didn't really buy it.
She does start to do. She does go down there. I'll do whatever it takes, and then Homelander brutally kills her ex-boyfriend and flies her up to see the body, and she realizes we're not strong enough. This isn't going to work. It's doing whatever it takes has meant that he's been killed. Me doing whatever it takes and me plotting to take this guy down, doing whatever it takes to do so, has led to him being brutally murdered. I think that's why she then has that flip.
Yeah, I just don't think she was doing whatever it took at that point. And she wasn't listening to whether or not it would have worked. We don't know, but she wasn't listening to the plan and she wasn't going forward with anything. She was just saying no.
Yeah, no, but obviously that was then causing them to have the argument, wasn't it? That was because she was having that and not quite fully committing is why Huey was like, no, I need to do this. And you said whatever it takes. And this is what we need to do. Taking Temp V is what we need to do and everything else.
Yeah, obviously, and then when she obviously discovered what Temp V did,
yeah,
that was different. I was obviously like, you need to not take Temp V, and that's actually one of the moments where Billy kind of shows he's human, but can't show Huey that he's human, so just decides to knock him the fuck out in a toilet instead,
very Billy Butcher
and not let him take anymore. Yes, exactly. But yeah, before that, like in Hero Gasm and stuff, when they were like arguing and you're here for the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
So I just find it, but I just found it particularly odd that it just seemed like forced confrontation between two characters that are meant to just be together. It just felt like forced additional drama. We already had that character in Mother's Milk, so we didn't in MM. So I don't think we needed it again in Annie as well. We also had we haven't. I think Maeve probably had her best storyline yet as well.
Well, she just had really that kind of redemption arc, and being able to come back, win her fight, save the day, and be able to be with her partner again.
Yeah, and that's kind of where Ashley showed her human side a bit too by deleting the footage of her still being alive.
Yeah.
And obviously everybody thinks Soldier Boy is dead, and everybody thinks Soldier Boy is the villain. That is not the last we've seen of Soldier Boy. Thank Christ. Because I just think he's an excellent character. But yeah, you get everyone kind of moving on board. One character I'm just like, one character I've never found interesting, and I don't really care for where they're going with it either, and I don't understand. Obviously it's because they've intentionally been vague on it and they haven't explained it yet, but Head Popper woman, I don't understand how she's benefiting Homelander right now, and she's just a typical I want to be in charge.
Well, I'm wondering if she will be this kind of bigger villain because she's strong enough to kill Homelander, I'd imagine.
Potentially, yeah.
So I'm wondering if that'll be she's the bigger villain, and we don't know what's happened to her daughter that she gave Compound V to.
No, yeah, we don't, do we?
So there's definitely some stuff there that they can go.
Oh yeah, like they left that open, but it's just one of those like her as a character. I'm just like they haven't really given her anything to do as of yet, really, to make her interesting. But yeah, it's entirely possible. I'm sure.
The character I have the biggest issue with is actually the Deep.
Oh yeah,
because. Yeah. He's not interesting and he's unlikable, and because they make him a complete and utter dick in the first episode of the first season, they never really fix that problem. Having him rape one of the main characters early on is not a good way to make you like your character. So the fact that they keep bringing him back and and they tried to put him in the scene where Homelander made him eat the octopus.
Try to make him a bit sympathetic.
Yeah, but because I dislike the Deep so much, I was like, yeah, you eat the fucking octopus. I don't care for you. You're a dickhead.
I felt more sympathetic towards Timothy, quite frankly.
Yes, exactly.
But no, I agree. I don't care for the Deep at all, and they want to make him this almost like comic relief character. And I kind of felt you can't make quite possibly the worst of it's obviously hard to quantify, but has done one of the most heinous acts on the show from the fucking get-go to the point where his entire... I didn't mind the Deep in season 1 because the entire point of his arc was you're getting fucked by that decision.
Yeah.
And that's his whole character arc in season 1. And then in season 2, he was in a cult for some reason. And then just met this manipulative, irritating piece of shit woman who clearly just wanted power for herself. So yeah, I didn't really like anything to do with the Deep and Mrs. Deep.
Yeah, we'll go with Mrs. Deep. Cassandra?
I don't know. Don't know. And yeah, just I didn't really like anything like that, and they made him really stupid. I don't remember him being that stupid in season 1.
No, you're right.
Other than obviously the stupid decision that he made from the very fucking get-go, but I don't remember him being like an idiot. And they've just made him this comic relief thing, and it's like you haven't earned comic relief. Like you've not come back from what you've done. You haven't tried to come back from what you've done. And there's a couple of scenes where they bring it up and kind of like, forcing Starlight to forgive him and what have you, or at least pretend to have forgiven him. Which in actual fact, of course, you never would. But it's not like A-Train, where A-Train's a piece of shit, but has actively made in-show decisions to rectify that problem. The one scene that I really fucking loved involving A-Train was when he was talking about Blue Hawk after he'd done in his brother. Talked to Ashley about Blue Hawk and like we need to take a stand, we need to do this and Ashley was just like, all the fucking horrible, obviously not verbatim, but all the fucking horrible shit you've done, but now it involves you, we need to take a stand, we need to do something about it. Go fuck yourself, I believe is how she ended that. I really like that scene just because just fucking great scene.
Yep.
Fucking great performances all around. And also just the, I agree.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a shitty thing to be like, it matters because it happened to me. But at the same time, you do need to do something about Blue Hawk.
He does. A-Train learns from that, though, because then he does genuinely apologize to Huey.
Yeah.
Obviously,
he does. Yeah.
Punches him square in the face, and to be fair, if I suddenly had superpowers and I was up against a superhero that had obliterated my girlfriend in front of my eyes, I would do something similar.
I would have gone for more the teleport him to the edge of the atmosphere, probably.
Yeah.
And then teleport it back down. It would be a risk because I don't know if you can do that.
We'd give it a go. But yeah, he did. He had his kind of like arc, his own arc of realizing his mistakes, and he has fucked up, and the effect it has on people. And he says his apology, and then he goes and brutally murders Blue Hawk as the last thing he does. As far as he's concerned, he must know that, because he knows he can't run. Him. So he must know that's going to be the last thing he's doing, and obviously he's not expecting to be saved by having Blue Hawk heart donated to him.
The irony.
But
what a brutal fucking
that is a
kill as well. Oh my god, fucking effective though.
Yeah.
Christ, talk about road rash. We see, what do they call him? Termite, the little guy. He obviously got very stood on.
Oh yeah, he's
very stood on by Homelander. All I can say about that scene is poor mother's milk when he opened those doors.
Oh, I know.
All I was thinking of, the main thing I was thinking of, was the smell.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Just the smell. Not even the context or just the general texture and the implications, but
I imagine the viscosity of that smell was something else.
No. Oh my god. Yeah, and I forgot to kind of follow up with the whole Herogasm stuff. As you said, like all the writing being so good around it, and actual like drama happening around it, as opposed to just look at this. I think because it was all just like background.
Yeah, it was all in the background. Yeah,
it didn't really seem gratuitous. The furthest it would go. The furthest you could say was, that might have been a bit much, was the 86 gallons of semen.
Yeah.
But, or love sausage. But that's just funny.
Yeah, it is just funny. I agree.
Are we doing press start today? We are. All in all, I think this show is fucking excellent. I'm looking forward to season 4. Hopefully it won't be as long, given that we don't have a pandemic in the middle. That was me knocking on wood.
Oh, I see.
That we don't have a pandemic in the middle. But I think this is one of the best shows on TV in the most recent years. And it's nice to see that, if anything, the show has gotten better
Yeah.
unlike Umbrella Academy, which started at the same time. All seasons have come out around about the same time of Umbrella Academy and The Boys, and it's just doing this. One's going up, one's going down, at least to me. And I think it is very much a front runner for me of show of the year.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was excellent. Absolutely excellent round. I had a great time watching it. I ended up watching most of it in one day. Well, because we hadn't got around to finishing it. So much has happened in the past week. And we had seen 3 episodes. And then Camilla went away. And it was Friday. And we were doing the show Saturday. And I was working Saturday. So I literally finished work at 4 on Friday. And I watched all of the episodes left that evening, other than the final one. And then the morning of Saturday, I watched the final episode. And then we never did the show Saturday, so I could have paced myself. But I never was like, oh, I want to watch one of these. The only reason I didn't watch that last episode that night is because it was already like 10 to 1. And I was like, I don't feel like watching another hour show at this point.
No, that's fair enough.
But I was, otherwise, would have happily sat and watched them just through, like binged and everything. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I'm thinking of giving the show a general, from season 1, rewatch at some point, but yeah, there's just so much going on at the moment. I haven't got time. This has been Admit One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. If you like what you're doing is watching us. You can follow us on Twitter at rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube where you can see it anytime that you wish. You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can join the chaos and carnage that is our conversation over on the Discord.
Indeed.
And now you can follow us on Instagram at rabbithole_media_UK and on TikTok at Rabbit Hole Media for all the behind the scenes tits and bits. If you'd like to support us, head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk for a wide range of merchandise that recently and forever gets wider. And finally, if you're watching us live on Twitch and are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month. Please find it within your hearts to give that membership to us. It doesn't cost you a penny, but goes a very long way in helping us bring you the shows that you love. Is it warm in there?
It's very warm in here.
Coming up on the channel, immediately after this, we'll be going into our weekly gaming podcast, Press Start. So stick around for that tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Because of our terrible, my terrible scheduling. Tomorrow is Pirates of the Caribbean. I need to watch it. I haven't had time to watch it.
Yeah, I need to watch it tomorrow as well.
Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one. We will be there for Admit 1 for that. Next Saturday, we will be back for Admit 1 with Knives Out. Very excited for Knives Out because I'm a big fan of the movie.
I've not seen it, so I'm looking forward to watching it.
You've not seen it, and I know you like a good and a clever whodunit.
I do. I also like a lot of cast.
I mean, the cast is excellent, to be fair. So I'm hoping you enjoy the movie and we'll have a lot to say about it.
Yep, I'm really looking forward to watching it.
And then, of course, Press Start. After that, obviously, we will be continuing with the Pirates of the Caribbean series on Tuesdays. But after Knives Out, we will be watching She-Hulk week to week for that. And then once Pirates is over, we will be doing a one-off episode on Paper Girls. So everybody get to watching Paper Girls. You got plenty of time.
I was going to start watching that the other night, but I decided I didn't want to start watching it this far away because it's in 6 weeks that we're doing an episode, so I'll forget.
Yes.
By the time.
Yes. Yeah, it's fair. I'm probably going to do a bit of a rewatch just to recap, because it's not that long. A lot of some of the episodes are quite short. I know the first one's only half an hour.
Yeah, I had a look through, and I had a look and was like, yeah, this is easy for me to watch closer to the time. If I watch it now.
Yeah, it's a nice 8 episodes. It's not too many. I just don't understand the release schedule that Amazon has. Like The Boys was 3 at once and then weekly. I'm pretty sure Invincible was just weekly, and then this is all at once. I don't fucking understand. Which again, all at once, I think kind of hurts the conversation because like online, I've seen nothing about this show. And it's very upsetting because I want a season 2. Anyway, thank you very much for joining, and we shall be back in just a moment for press start. Until then,
Goodbye.
bye.